Okay. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to anyone who is here for the first time. I hope you stick around. If you hear any weird sounds, I have 4 dogs in here with me today that are just kind of walking around, and their nails are making a lot of sound on the floor, or they're hitting a doorstop. Ellie! Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to those of you who have already been here before, and welcome to anyone who is here for the first time. Hopefully you'll want to stick around. What I like to do around here is I like to do my makeup and talk about football at the same time. It's kind of a weird combination, I know, but those are my 2 interests, and so I like to make videos combining the 2 of them. So the Super Bowl is this Sunday. I already put up a video talking about the San Francisco 49ers, and obviously they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. You know that I'm going to talk about them based on the title, and so I wanted to really rush this out to try and have a video about both teams before the Super Bowl started. So we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. I've already said that a few times, but my goal, obviously, I'm going to try and continue to do this after the Super Bowl, so doing 1 video each week, just previewing teams, going into the draft, needs that the teams have. Obviously, we'll kind of continue after the draft. There's 32 teams going at 1 a week. We'll have 30 more to talk about. It'll take us a while to get there, but previewing the upcoming season, things like that. So if you have a favorite team that you want me to talk about, please comment that down below. Please also like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see. So with that being said, let's get started. Also, just a side note, my hair isn't super greasy, it's just wet. I just showered. Like I said, I'm trying to rush this out so that I could have it up in time. Okay, so my goal for this time is to try and actually do my makeup while I'm talking, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so I've mentioned 5 or 6 times at this point that we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. So when talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, we have to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Patrick Mahomes. He is a superstar, basically. For those of you that maybe don't know, he is the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he is very, very good. If you don't watch a lot of football, you may recognize him. He's in a lot of State Farm commercials with Aaron Rodgers, so you may recognize him from those. But if you don't watch a lot of football, or haven't seen it, he has this no-look pass from last season that you should really look up and watch. If you haven't seen it, I recommend pausing this video, going to go watch that video, come back, or waiting till the end, but you should really look it up. It's a pretty cool play, and something that people talk about to this day when it comes to him. So I'm just going to read his stats because similar to the last video, I don't have all of these memorized. So for this season, and I pulled this off of ESPN, so I'm not sure, it didn't say if it was regular season or if it was included the playoffs. I think it was just regular season stats, but he had 4,031 yards and 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a total QBR of 76.3. He's the second best QBR in the league, so obviously pretty good. And as far as the rest of his stats, he was actually injured for, I can't remember how many games he was out, but he didn't play. I think he played 13 total games, but I think he was one of those 13 is when he got hurt, and so he didn't play the full game. So those are his stats just based off of not even a full season. Okay, so I actually remembered to save the links to all of my articles that I reference in this video, so I'm going to link those all in the description box below. So I'll just reference the articles, but you should be able, I'll reference them so you can pull them up and read some more if you are interested. So the Undefeated did an article on Mr. Mahomes, and it was called something to the effect of his what was it called? It was how Patrick Mahomes' weakness showcases his greatness or displays his greatness. That's what it was. So I was intrigued by this article because I didn't really think Patrick Mahomes had any weaknesses. I mean, like, as a football player, I didn't think he, had any weaknesses because he's so good. So I clicked on it because I wanted to see what it was all about, and it was actually pretty interesting. So what they had said was that Mahomes' weakness is the play action pass. So for those of you that maybe don't know what the play action pass is, it is when the quarterback, well, the offense as a whole, it looks like they're running a run play. So the quarterback will pretend like he's handing the ball off to the running back, and instead it's a fake. So then the quarterback will drop back for a pass. So that's the play action pass. A lot of quarterbacks actually usually see more success with the play action pass, and I'll kind of get into that in a second. But we know that Patrick Mahomes has a weakness with the play action pass because his QBR, so that's the quarterback rating, on play action pass plays is 73.5 on average, and his non-play action pass plays QBR is 84.3. So his QBR on non-play action pass plays is better than his QBR on play action pass plays. So that means that, a lot of things. First of all, most successful quarterbacks in the NFL, that's the opposite. Their QBR is better on a play action pass play than it is on a non-play action pass play. So that in and of itself is kind of crazy that he's opposite. QBR on play action pass plays is actually pretty good, in comparison. Like, he's still good at it. It's just not like he's so good at everything else that it's kind of interesting that there's something that he's not, like, that usually other quarterbacks are better at. He's not as, like, that's not his best play, if that makes sense. So the Undefeated article, I don't even remember if I mentioned that. These dogs are so distracting. The Undefeated article actually compared the average QBR for Mahomes. So the Undefeated article looked at a few different things for, like, why Mahomes, like, they wanted to try and figure out, like, what's causing this, like, difference in his QBR for these play action pass plays. Like, is it the offensive line? Like, what's related to it? And they actually broke a bunch of those things down. So if you want to check out their whole explanation, then go ahead and read that article. So first, I feel like we can't, actually, I'll talk about when I first posted on, I'm going to just, 1 second while I cut my crease, because I can't talk and do this at the same time. So, we cut my crease. It looks crazy right now. I know, we're going to fix it. Anyway, let's talk about the, forgot what I was going to say. Let's talk about the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has for all of these play action and non-play action passing plays that he's doing. When I first was editing, I had posted on my Twitter that I was editing my San Francisco 49ers video, and I had said, so obviously next I'm going to do the Chiefs, like, what do you guys think I should talk about, type of thing. And my friend Aaron Padilla, Aaron, if you're watching, hi, how are you, had said, talk about how fast Tyreek Hill is. And I had a note that, Tyreek Hill was going to be one of the, like, outside of Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill was going to be one of the main kind of points of this video. So Tyreek Hill is super fast. His nickname is Cheetah. I can't imagine why. He runs really fast, but I don't know how that relates to him being a cheetah. That was sarcasm. Anyway. So just really quick, Tyreek Hill, he's a controversial cat. He, get it? Because he's a cheetah. Anyway, so he's controversial. I read a few articles. I didn't end up linking them because I already kind of knew this information. I just wanted to, like, confirm, what, just confirm exactly, like, what I thought before I, spread fake news. But he was suspended. Anyway, the articles that I read kept saying he was suspended last year, And I don't know if they mean 2019, but it felt like they meant like last season. And I could have sworn it was this season. And maybe I'm crazy and like time's just flying because I'm having, you know, such a good time. But I really thought it was this season. But anyway, he was suspended because there was allegations that he had abused his 3-year-old son. His 3-year-old son had a broken arm, and the police were investigating, and it ended up that they couldn't confirm if it was Tyreek Hill or the child's mom. I don't know if they were together, so that's why I'm saying the child's mom. But they couldn't confirm which one of them like actually harmed the child and broke his arm or something like that, or, you know, it was something to that effect. So that's why he's playing now, even though he has that going on. It's because they didn't end up finding anything. So yeah, you know, do with that what you want. I could probably do a whole video just like trying to break down all the details on that. So, you know, feel free to look that up and make your own opinion on that. But yeah, he's super fast. The article I found from Yahoo Sports actually talked about he broke some crazy stat while he was in high school. I didn't write it down because it meant nothing to me because I don't really pay a lot of attention to running, but it seemed really fast. But what I did pay attention to in that article was that he's come out and said, you know, after this Super Bowl, he wants to look at, you know, getting back into running and things like that, and basically going in, you know, looking at the Olympics as a goal. So I just thought that was pretty cool, you know, that he has, you know, some dreams outside of sustaining head injuries in the NFL. Okay, so I'm talking about him like you guys know who he is, because some of you might actually not. So Tyreek Hill is the wide receiver for the Chiefs. That's why I said he was one of Mahomes' weapons. He is, I'm going to read his stats to you as well. He had 58 receptions this year, 860 yards, 7 touchdowns for an average of 14.8 yards per reception, that's pretty good. You know, when he has the ball, he is very, very fast. So if you're watching the Super Bowl and you see some guy running super fast, it's probably him. There's actually other fast guys on the team, but he's really fast. Anywho, let's move on to the next weapon that Mahomes has, and his name is Travis Kelce. So I talked about George Kittle in my last video. And do you guys remember? This is a pop quiz. Do you remember who George Kittle is? No? Okay, that's okay. George Kittle is the tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, a very good tight end. And I actually said that he was one of the, if not the best, tight end in football right now. And when I said that, there was one other tight end that I was thinking is really, really good. And that is Travis Kelce. And he is the tight end for the Chiefs. And he is very, very good. He has, let's just go ahead and read his stats as well while we're here. So he has 97 receptions. So that's 8th most in the NFL. 1,229 receiving yards, which is 4th best in the NFL. And he has 5 touchdowns and 12.7 yards on average per catch. So that is actually, I just thought it was crazy how similar his stats were to George Kittle's. Now, George Kittle had less receptions and less yards. I don't remember the exact number of receptions he had. I want to say it was like 86 or something like that. And then his receiving yards was like 1,000 something. So he has roughly like between 100 to 200 less receiving yards than Kelce does. But they have the exact same number of touchdowns. And George Kittle's average yards per reception was 12.4, whereas Kelce's, did I say George Kittle or Travis Kittle? Oh my God, their names are so similar. Kittle's was 12.4 yards per reception on average, and Kelce's was 12.7 yards on average per reception. So slightly better, but still like super, super similar. I thought that was crazy. Now, the New York Post actually had this interesting article, and it talked about the unkind trend of Super Bowls. And the unkind trend is that there has never been a tight end that has been Super Bowl MVP. So now, those of you that are new to football or just watching this for the makeup purposes, the MVP at the end of the Super Bowl, they pick one player. It's of the winning team that, you know, had a really good game, and usually like they feel like that's who, you know, helped the team kind of win, and so they end up winning the MVP. So there's never been a tight end MVP. So this is going to be Super Bowl 54. So of the last 53 Super Bowls, this is the breakdown that we've got of players. So we have had, of MVPs, I mean. So I'm going to break down all of the non-QB ones, and then you'll just know that the rest were quarterback MVPs. So there were 7 wide receivers, 7 running backs, 4 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen, 2 safeties, a cornerback, and a return specialist. So that's it. So I think I did the math, and it's like slightly more than half of Super Bowl MVPs have been quarterbacks. But seriously, 0 tight ends. A tight end has never won Super Bowl MVP. So they said that this Super Bowl is interesting though. Like, will they, you know, break the trend? Because for both teams, their receiving leaders are their tight ends. It's Kittle and Kelsey. So is this the year that maybe a Super Bowl, that maybe a tight end will be a Super Bowl MVP? Like, that could be interesting. One thing that they noted too was that so I thought that when I was writing up what I wanted to say for this video, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh my gosh, like Kittle and Kelsey are probably like the 2 best tight ends ever. And then as I was running through this, I was like, started listing all these other really good tight ends in my mind, like Rob Gronkowski, who just retired not that long ago. And so I was just like in that mindset of like just what's happening right now, and kind of forgetting about, you know, history and things like that. So obviously we've had other really good tight ends. And then speaking of Gronkowski, him, Vernon Davis, and Dan Ross are the only tight ends to have over 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl. So all 3 of them each had at least one Super Bowl where they had over 100 receiving yards. Each one of them, their teams lost the year that they had over 100 receiving yards. Like, so a tight end's never had a 100-yard receiving or more game in the Super Bowl, and their team has like then won, which is crazy. I just thought that was kind of like weird and interesting. So we'll see if Kelsey and Kittle actually end up having good games or not. In Vegas, you can bet on literally anything. Like, I just learned last year that you can bet on how long you think it'll take them to sing the national anthem, which I thought was kind of funny. But you can bet on who you think will be the MVP. And so the MVP, like, betting favorites are still Jimmy Garoppolo and Patrick Mahomes. So that just means that, you know, people are kind of leaning towards Vegas, not the city of Vegas, but, you know, and then the people that are betting on it are just kind of leaning towards one of the quarterbacks ending up being the MVP. So we'll see if it ends up being, you know, Kittle or Kelsey. That'll be interesting. I didn't realize how hard I like go at my makeup until I started doing these and talking, and I'm like, can't talk at the same time because I'm literally beating my face. Okay, so we've talked about Mahomes, we've talked about Kelsey. I think I said everything I wanted to say about them. Well, I guess we'll just move on to the team as a whole. So Next Gen Stats, I don't have it linked because it was just like a little meme I saw on Twitter, and I can't like just put the picture down there. But Next Gen Stats had created a infographic that I think ESPN or SportsCenter or something shared, and it had said the fastest offenses in the NFL. And the way they did it was like they broke down like the average top speed of ball carriers. So the number one, the fastest offense in the NFL is the Kansas City Chiefs. Their average top speed is 13.36 miles per hour. Now, in my last video, I said that we were going to have a fast defense versus a fast offense, and it was going to be exciting. And the 49ers were the good defense and the Chiefs were the good offense, and, you know, that was what the big matchup was going to be. Well, I was wrong. As I did more research, I realized I was wrong. And how I know, the first clue that I was wrong is, guess who the number 2 fastest offense is? The 49ers at 13.35 average top speed of ball carriers. That is 0.01 miles per hour less than the Chiefs. They are very close. Both are very fast offenses. I didn't, like, from watching games, I felt like the 49ers defense was, I mean, honestly, I'm saying a lot of things all at the same time. Their running back, we know, is very, very good. We talked about how he just ran all over the Packers. So I just thought that was crazy because I really thought we were going to be like, it was, when I watched games, it was mainly the 49ers defense that I felt like we were really focusing on, but their offense is pretty good too. And I should have known that because, I mean, there was a lot of games where they just really like completely obliterated their opponents, and so your offense has to be like kind of good to do that. They have to be competent. As a Steelers fan, I don't know what a competent offense looks like after this season, but anyways, can't wait to do that video. So fun fact, the Chiefs have not been to the Super Bowl in 50 years. So if you've been a Chiefs fan for longer than the last 2 or 3 seasons, congratulations. I'm sure this is a very exciting time for you. I bet you never thought in a million years that you would get to this point. So that's, I'm really excited for you guys. I hope this is successful for you. The 49ers already have a lot of Super Bowl wins, so I don't really think they need more, but, that's just my humble opinion. The Steelers have 6 Super Bowl wins. They're tied for the most with the Patriots in the NFL, and the 49ers have 5. So they join the Super Bowl, like the tie for the most Super Bowls with the Steelers and the Patriots if they win another Super Bowl. So that's why I was just like, they don't need to win another one because I don't want them to. So moving right along. So I found this article. It was from Arrowhead Addict, and it was, 5 things the Chiefs need to do to win the game. And I thought, so I gave it a read. And I have some opinions. I don't think they're incorrect. I actually agree with what they're saying. But I take issue with the fact that I feel like every time, like, and they do this a lot before games too, they'll be like, so-and-so's keys to winning the game, and they like break down, like, and they do it in all the different games, and it just drives me freaking bonkers. But they basically say the same 3 things every single time. And it is, don't turn the ball over, so maintain possession of the ball, win the time of possession battle, meaning like be in possession of the ball for more, like a greater amount of time in the game than the other team, okay? And win the battle at the line of scrimmage. And they say essentially those 3 things every time, and it drives me nuts because, and I'm not even doing my makeup because I'm trying to rant, but it drives me nuts because it's like, those are the fundamental ways to win football games. Like, you hold on, like, the goal of a football game is you have a ball, you want your team to score with the ball. The most likely way your team scores with the ball is on offense. So if your team has the ball more than the other team has the ball, there's a greater chance that you're gonna score than more than the other team. Okay, right? Like that makes sense. That's logical. All right. Now and then that goes with turning the ball over. So when you have the ball, don't make a stupid mistake and just give it to your opponent, right? Because then they might score. So all of that just makes, like, I just feel like that's, like, not common sense, but, like, I get it. It makes sense, and it's always, like, accurate. Like, obvious, like, if you do those things, yeah, that's going to help you win the game. My issue is that I feel like whenever teams are pretty evenly matched, I just feel like it's always those are the like keys to winning the game, and it like goes back to the fundamentals. And it's because like the things that the team is good at, the other team is also good at. So you can't be like, you know, the Chiefs really need to utilize their speed, because guess what? The 49ers are also utilizing their speed. So like just doing that isn't really going to make a difference. You have to go back to the fundamentals. Anyway, I get it. I get all of it. It just bothers me, and I just needed to rant about it. So back to Arrowhead Addicts article, who I'm not taking issue with them specifically. I actually really liked how they broke down each little key to winning the game, and they made the stats like, or their explanation really specific to both teams, and like just kind of previewing what that could look like. So I thought that was nice. So let's see. So their first key was to give Mahomes time. So meaning like not let him get under pressure as much, and have time to, you know, do the plays and things that, you know, he's going to do. So with giving Mahomes more time, obviously he'll have less pressure. He'll be able to, you know, do the things that he does that, you know, make him so successful as a quarterback. And, you know, if he's not having time, if he's getting sacked, if he's like having to scramble for his life, he's not going to really be making these great plays. And, you know, that's what they need to do to score. So I thought that one was fine. You could kind of like simplify it down to some of the things I said, but I felt like it was nice to like the way they explained it, like made it more specific. The number 2 key to them winning the game was to not make mistakes like they did against the Texans, which means like don't turn the ball over, don't make stupid mistakes, just, you know, because they were down 24-0 against the Texans, and they ended up coming back to win it. So they, you know, were making a lot of mistakes. They weren't really like, they had, I think, you know, they were just making silly mistakes, and it was giving the Texans a lot to, you know, go off of and therefore have success. So they're saying like, don't make those same mistakes, because the 49ers are too good to make those mistakes and then think you can still win the game. And so that's why, again, I liked that sort of breakdown of it, because I felt like it was more specific to the teams. But yeah, you don't want to turn the ball over ever, really. It's not, I wouldn't consider that, like, nobody's ever going to be like, yeah, if you turn the ball over, you know, like, that's a key to winning the game. You need to turn it over a lot. Like, unless you're playing the Steelers, who can't do anything on offense, and turning the ball over doesn't really, you know, make a huge difference. But I'm still salty about this season, obviously. Moving on to the third key from Arrowhead Addict. Their third key to the Chiefs winning the game is that they need to, the defense needs to defend the run. Now, if you guys remember, I talked about in my San Francisco 49ers video that they were very, very good running the ball against the Packers. They attempted 8 passes because they were having so much success running the ball. So it's not great for the Packers, I mean, but it also just means like that's how good the 49ers run game is that like they don't really need to pass or they didn't in that game. And so the Chiefs really have to defend the run, and the Chiefs don't have a great run defense. It's improved towards the end of the season, but it's still not like, it's not the best. So if they can't figure that out going into this game, like things aren't gonna be looking so great for them. Okay, so the number 4 key to winning the game for them, according to that article, was to I said defend the run. What was it? Was to keep third downs manageable. So that one, I mean, going back to kind of my rant that I had, like, I feel like that just goes back to like keep like time of possessions. Like if you keep your third downs manageable, you're more likely to pick them up, and that's to, you know, continue. And to be fair, this article did say like keep third downs manageable for both for the offense and then also for the defense. Like if you're not letting the 49ers just run all over you and you're able to hold them to third downs, you know, that'll be or maybe they said that in the run defense. I can't remember. It's all blending together in my mind. But anywho, but having the offense keep third downs manageable so they can continue to pick them up and continue to hold on to the ball longer and therefore more likely to score and yada, 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 the whole rant that I went on like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, anyway, so those were the 4, and then so the whole thing was 5. So talking about the fifth key to the game, and that was for the that was for Andy Reid. So it was for Andy Reid to have aggressive and creative play calling. Now, I feel like that could apply to basically, you know, any game at any time you want to have creative and aggressive play calling. But I liked the point that they made, and that was that this is the Super Bowl. This is it. There's no game to go to next week, so you don't need to like play anything, you know, hold anything close to the vest and not, you know, reveal any secrets or anything, because this is it. This is for all the marbles. So, you know, pull out all the stops and, you know, get creative with it. So anyway, so I did like that. And so that's why I wanted to share their, I know I went on my rant and I said that they said a lot of the same things, but it's not their fault. Like football, it comes down to like very basic key points, and that it is just the way that it is. So, you know, I appreciate it, but I did appreciate like the extra like little something that they added to their article. Okay, so I decided against putting fake lashes on because I'm literally just gonna wipe all this off and go to bed. So gluing lashes on just sounded like a lot of extra work for that just wasn't worth it. So this is the look without lashes. What do you guys think? I like this one a lot more than I like the look, how the look came out in my 49ers video. I feel like this is much more reflective of the Chiefs colors. I used this like neon-y Colourpop liner for my waterline, and it's like so neon that it almost kind of pulls green, so it looks like a little bit more like it has a green tint to it. So I wish this looked more yellow, but I still don't hate it. I like how everything else came out. I really like the look overall. Hopefully that means the Chiefs will win, since I like the look that I did for them better. Who do you guys think is gonna win? What do you think we're gonna see in the game? Any predictions? Comment them down below. Any of your favorite foods that you like to bring to Super Bowl parties, let me know. Would love to hear some suggestions. But other than that, that's it. If you didn't already like this video or subscribe, please do so before you leave. I hope you liked this video. I hope you had a good time. Again, let me know if there's teams that you want to hear about next. Other than that, that's it for me. Okay, thanks. Bye.